Bronc Bros Podcast with Adam Ramirez and Sean Flanagan.
Hello, Broncos fans. Welcome to the Bronc Bros Podcast. The Broncos decided to give us yet another heart attack today, Sean. Before we get into that, we want to thank you all for watching. Make sure to follow us at Bronc Bros _ on Instagram. I think we have a Bronc Bros X. I don't handle that. Steven, let them know. If we have an X account, follow me at Adam Knows Ball _ Follow Sean to the grocery store because he doesn't have a handle apparently. And also make sure to follow us on YouTube and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Sean.
Yes, sir.
What a day. What a day, man. Cheers to you and to every Bronco fan out there. The Broncos, they got it done. They made it difficult like they always do. But they pulled it out and they essentially ended the Chiefs season, hopefully. But how are you feeling after this game, Sean, before we dive into it?
I mean, anytime you can beat the Chiefs is a good day, especially, it's always the TV just glazing the Chiefs and 14-1 since Mahomes has been there and blah, blah, blah. We've lived it. We know it. You don't even remind us of it. So anytime the Broncos beat the Chiefs, anytime the Chargers lose, anytime the Raiders lose, I mean, that's a good day. So I'll take a combination of all that today too, which is great.
Yeah, ironically, we may want the Colts to lose next week against a certain team that we're not actually going to openly root for, but it would probably help us, right? But getting back to what you were talking about, oh my God, Tony Romo is insufferable during these games, bro. That's Patrick Mahomes on the other side. Well, they've done this before, but that's Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes can do this, and nobody else can. I'm like, shut the hell up, dude. We get it. It's Patrick Mahomes. Like, how many times did he say it today, Sean?
Every time we didn't bury him.
Oh my gosh, dude. I know a lot of people like listening to him. I am not one of those people.
Nope,
because he is just so annoying. Him with the Mahomes, with the Josh Allen, who has done nothing in his NFL career, by the way, in the playoffs. I don't know why we're glazing that guy all the time. And yes, I'm a very well-known Josh Allen hater because I don't like the Bills. I don't like their fans. I don't like Josh Allen begging for calls all the time. And that's why I'm not a fan of him. So I'm hoping the Broncos can exact some revenge on him and the Bills a little bit later in this season, but that's a different topic for a different day. Sean, this Broncos team, you watch them today, and take me through the emotions as you watch this Broncos offense, the thoughts that go through your head, the urges to choke people or somebody. Like, what is it, dude? Like, what goes through your mind when you watch this interesting offense?
Well, that's why we wear hats. It's because we pull all of our hair out watching this offense play football. I don't know, man. It's, the frustrating part is, and I'm sure obviously with Broncos fans everywhere, the news about J.K. Dobbins is just, it's devastating to a team that already refuses to run the ball. Yep. And, it was as soon as you called me yesterday, and it's like, we always text or whatever, but you like literally picked up the phone and called me when the J.K. Dobbins news came out. And it's just, it sucks, man. We're going to actively avoid the run now at this point, it would seem. So, they just, I don't know what it is that the nice part about today, though, I will say, is between the 20s, they did play pretty well on offense. We looked like ourselves on defense, where we let them walk you down to the inside, and then you just can't score in the red zone. So it kind of seemed a little bit reminiscent of what we watch on defense. Not to say that we always get walked down. We're just not as good in the 20s as we are in the red zone or whatnot.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, it's just it's frustrating. But I will say, seeing Pat Bryant break out today was a huge win. I think you and I were both against the Vele trade, so to see maybe some reasoning as to why that happened today was great. I love Pat Bryant. I love what he does in the blocking game. I love how he runs his routes. I think we probably have the same 40 time, but that's okay. But I'm a big Pat Bryant fan. I love the guy. I think he's going to be great here for a long time.
Yeah, Sean, can we talk about, and hats off to Pat Bryant, absolutely. And I've always been like, I don't know about that pick, but he's playing well, and he is coming in to his own at the right time, because the Broncos need somebody else to throw the football to, especially with JK being out. My thoughts, Sean, before I ask you this next question, when I watch the offense, is there's a lot of yelling, there's a lot of cursing, there's a lot of questions, and mainly one question: what are you doing? What are we doing? What is that?
Yeah.
Why did you call that? Why are we throwing the ball to Bo Nix from the 15-yard line or whatever it was?
Yeah.
And why did you make the decision to make that throw? Like, just throw it out of bounds, like, or just run it. Like, what are you doing? That was wild to me. And people always blame the refs when we talk about that Sean Payton loss to the Rams in the NFC Championship game. But I'm telling you, it was calls like that cost them the game. And these are the things that I worry about with Sean Payton when it comes to big games. He does this. Like, Drew Brees is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, right? He took him off the field on 4th down in that game. I remember this. For Taysom Hill? Like, why?
Yeah.
Keep your guys in a position to succeed so that they can do great things on the football field. That's where I'm at. And I still don't think that this offense is playing to Bo Nix's strength. I still feel like Sean Payton is forcing him to play within this scheme that doesn't necessarily fit him that well, but he's doing okay, right? When he needs to, anyway. But can we talk about, Sean, I don't even know what the word is that I'm trying to think of right now, but the very noticeable, terrible blocking by number 82 on this team. I don't even want to say his name. I don't even want to say his name. So he came with Sean because the Saints, right? The Saints connection. Got to have all my Saints. Okay, whatever. Cool. He's on this team to block, right? Every single time I see this guy on the field, he's getting blown up. He's not blocking. He's getting beat. Are you seeing the same thing, or am I just like going insane?
I know you're not a big fan, so you're probably focusing on it more than I am. But there's also probably a reason that Mercedes Lewis is on this team.
Yeah.
And that's, when you're 41 years old and gigantic, I mean, you're probably going to be blocking. So, and that's what he's done. I mean, he's only really been in there to block. So maybe
we need somebody to block.
Yeah, maybe he'll get one of those weird plays in the playoffs where they throw him one because he hasn't caught one all year or whatever. But yeah, I mean, the tight end play is concerning. Evan Ingram is MIA, and so we were banging the table for a rookie tight end, and that didn't happen. And here we are, we just, I don't know what the issue is with Evan Ingram and why he's not on the field. I know you let in with blocking, and that's obviously a concern for the one guy that's his job. But the tight end is it's a weak link, and if Evan Ingram doesn't get more involved, then I think we're going to be back to the drawing board for tight end again next year.
Yeah, and we're not trying to be negative here, guys, but the Broncos did win the game. We're looking forward here. It's a 9-2 football team. The Patriots aren't going away. The Colts aren't going away. The Bills aren't going away. The Broncos are going to have to play this thing all the way through the end of the season. And there are concerns here. Yes, beating the Chiefs is great. You bury the Chiefs. We'll talk more about that later. But is this sustainable, Sean? And this is what it goes back to. Does this team remind you of the 2015 team? And if so, what are your thoughts specifically on the comparison between those two teams?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of has to, right? Because you're a team that's basically, and even self-admittedly, pulled by your defense, and you win games based on your defense. And the thing about it today is the next man up mentality of this defense and their ability to beat a team like the Chiefs when nobody picked you to win, except for me.
I didn't. I picked the Chiefs, bro.
Nobody picked you to win when your leading tackler's off the field. The best corner in the game is off the field. And you look like you didn't miss a beat. Now, I know you would text me like, yo, we can't get pressure. But the 2.18 release time is insane when they showed that graphic to get the ball out that quick. So obviously it was a point of emphasis. But McMillan just had himself a day today. Coming off the edge. Sade Barron played really well. He got completely robbed on that pick six, which was maybe one of the worst throws I've ever seen. I don't know what, I mean, unless he saw the flag or had already slipped the guy the 20 behind him to throw that flag like they always do. I don't know if you saw the one play. I just have to say when he got, when McMillan sacked him and Mahomes immediately started pointing at his helmet. Dude, that's some soft stuff.
Bro.
Anyway, but McMillan was just unreal today. I think Riley Moss is getting picked on a little bit. I don't think
by the refs, by the NFL. Yeah.
That second one was not pass interference. He was fighting back to the ball just like the receiver was. It was a bad
OPI. It was OPI.
Yeah. So yeah, but to your point, the similarities, obviously we don't have the Hall of Fame names necessarily, like your Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, and then obviously the no-fly zone, but these guys do the same thing. You cannot get in the end zone. This is maybe the first tackle that Hufunga's missed all year that allows Kelsey to get into the end zone. It sucks. It happens. The way that dude plays, whatever. If he misses one tackle, the other plays that he made today more than make up for it. But yeah, this defense is they got them on their back. They're going to take them all the way to wherever they go. It's going to be whatever this defense wants to take us to, they're going to take us to.
Yeah, going back to your point, Sean, about the referees, the Chiefs haven't scored a non-ref aided touchdown against the Broncos in the last 3 games. Because last year, if you remember, in Kansas City, it was 3rd and 15 or 3rd and 17, something like that, and the Broncos sacked him, and they got him out of field goal range. And for no reason, somehow, out of midair or out of, just magically appearing was a flag for illegal contact. And it was even worse than the call that they called today on Riley Moss. So without that flag, they wouldn't have scored a touchdown last year in Kansas City. They obviously didn't score a touchdown against the Broncos in the last game last year because Patrick Mahomes wasn't even playing. And then this year, they had that situation where they went down and scored. I don't think it was a touchdown, but I think they scored points off of it, right? And then the other one on Riley Moss where it's a terrible throw. We're just bailing Mahomes out for no reason. Worthy's like holding on to Moss's shoulder, and it was just like, let him play.
Yeah.
Like it should have been a non-call on both sides if you're going to do that. But that led to the Travis Kelce touchdown. And I knew it was going to lead to a touchdown. I was so mad when that happened. I may or may not have hit a table or something. But my goodness, dude, the refs. How about that pass interference that they called on Riley Moss from the other side of the field? Did you notice that the judge who was right in front of that play didn't throw a flag? It was from the other side of the field, dude. They called it. I mean, that's as egregious as he gets from the NFL. But anyway, yes, this defense, I was a little concerned at first. I thought, Simmons being back for the Chiefs, the Broncos didn't look like they were getting very much pressure. But to your point, Mahomes was getting rid of the ball quick because he didn't want none of that.
Yeah.
He knew that the Broncos were going to get to him eventually. And then those obvious passing downs, even when he made that really great play to, was it Tyquan Thornton? Is that his name?
Yeah, Thornton. I don't know.
That was a great throw by Mahomes, by the way. I mean, it was a little bit of OPI, but it could have gone either way, whatever. But even on that play, the Broncos were in his grill, dude. So, I don't think that the Broncos are going to lack anything when it comes to defense come playoff time. I think it's all going to depend on this offense, and that's why I'm comparing them to the 2015 team, because I remember distinctly myself, Sean, saying there is no way they're going to win the Super Bowl with this team. And Peyton Manning is a shell of himself. We can't run the football. Like, it just wasn't a good offense. And it kind of is pretty similar. I don't know what the numbers look like. I'm sure we could look it up, but this offense isn't necessarily good, but they're getting it done when they need to. And that's all that really matters, I guess, in the long run. Is how long can they sustain this? I don't know. But the Broncos are closing games out this year, Sean. Defense, offense, special teams. You got Lutz making clutch kicks. You've got the defense sacking Patrick Mahomes on like an incredibly ballsy play call by Vance Joseph.
Big time.
I mean, he knew somehow that Patrick Mahomes wanted to take a shot right there. And he knew that in that situation, he would have time to send a blitz. And he did it. And he did it off the corner. And they got him twice with McMillan, right?
Yep. 2 sacks and a pick.
Man, that is just an incredible, incredible play call in that moment. And if I may, Sean, before it even happens, I'm going to miss that guy.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. The games like today, he already's got his contract. Somebody's got it written up, dude. He's gone for sure.
Masterclass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a bummer. And wouldn't it be funny, Sean, just real quick off topic, wouldn't it be funny if that Dolphins game led him to the Miami Dolphins head coaching job? Because after that game, he completely turned it around with this defense.
The 70-point game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
70 to 20.
Full
Wouldn't
circle,
that be hilarious?
Yeah, that'd be full circle. But
man,
they seem to want to keep McDaniels for some reason. But
well, that's special, isn't it? That guy looks like he's rolling on something every time that he's talking to the press. I don't know what's going on. I think one time he didn't even have shoes on. Like he's an entertaining guy.
To your point, man, they have the people to close games.
We got to win the game. We got to win the Super Bowl, man.
They got a punter that can change the field. They've got a kicker that can make clutch kicks. They've got a defense that can stop arguably one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Depending on how many Super Bowls Mahomes gets and where you want to put him in that conversation, but they have the ability to stop them, whether it be scheme or players. They have both. And, to do what they did today, shorthanded, and some of that is, they get it out quick. Surtain's not there. They're trying to keep it away from Benito and Cooper. I think they said that Cooper has the best get off in the NFL from snap to, I think, over the line of scrimmage. That's why he gets some penalties every once in a while. But that dude fires off. It's insane.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're saying this. I'm not going to call them the no-fly zone because that's a 2015 thing, and I know that team, specifically Talib, hates when people do that. Call this team the no-fly zone. There's only one no-fly zone, people. This defense is special in its own way, in a different way. I mean, I think the safety play on this team is a lot better than that team. The pass rush is probably equal. If you take the names out of it, you just look at the stats. I mean, man, but the middle linebacking play is where that 2015 team won games. Yeah. They shut down. They could cover tight ends. They could cover running backs in the flat. Like they just, they stopped the run. Not to say that Singleton and Sternad and Greenlaw aren't good, because they are in their own way. I know Singleton can't cover really, but the Broncos defense can carry them to a Super Bowl. So my question to you, Sean, is if this offense was even mediocre, this team would be 11-0, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously your only 2 losses are on field goals with no time left, and one of them you won the damn game and you lose on a leverage call when they get a
Mm-hmm.
15-yard penalty because they were so far out of field goal, actual field goal range. They were trying a miracle kick. So, we got robbed on that too. But yeah, I mean, run the ball. We say it every week. I mean, just run the ball. It's you and I were chatting before it started. Almost every team that's good in the AFC plays outdoors. So you're gonna play a playoff game in the snow. You got to run the ball, and it's got to, what I think you said 17 carries today, and RJ had 30 yards. Like, you're gonna have to get him ready. Yeah, you're gonna have to ride a rookie unless you think that there's somebody on the street that's a veteran that's gonna come in here and fight him for snaps, which I don't think that there is, and I don't think that they should. You need to give RJ Harvey the ball. He needs to get revved up and ready to go because when it comes time for January football, we're gonna need him.
Well, and it doesn't help that RJ Harvey went to college in Florida. So there's that. Hey, what's Mark Ingram doing? I'm sure Payne's gonna call him because of the Saints connection, right? Like, there's no way that he doesn't call him.
I think he does college game day.
Don't be surprised if he's in here for a workout. Just saying, that Saints connection, it's just, you can't stop it,
Yeah.
But the good thing about this Broncos team, Sean, is that last year they were losing every close game, and it was heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. And this year, outside of the Colts game, the Chargers game, which will loom large if the Broncos lose a couple games here to finish the season, they have won all the close games. They are closers. They got Bo Nix, who can close. Cortland Sutton is a closer. The whole defense, closers. Will Lutz, a closer. So, Sean, how does this bode for the Broncos moving forward? And do you think that this puts them or gives them an edge over other teams in the playoffs?
Absolutely. That's two years of playing tons of close games, right? I don't know how many we had last year. I know that the record was not good. It was like 2-7 or whatever it was. But the fact that you were in them and now you turn it over to this year and you're winning them, you've faced this adversity so many times. There's no reason to think you can't win that game. And I think they have that mentality this year. The fourth quarter stats speak for themselves with points and things like that. Obviously as fans, we would prefer that they don't put us in that situation all the damn time. But the fact that you can, I mean, who in their right mind, anybody, forget about the first 50 minutes of this game. There wasn't a person out there that's not a Broncos fan that thought we were going to win that game. While Tony Romo talks about what he's shining Mahomes' Hall of Fame jacket for when he gets the last possession and throws it, and we lose, that's how it was the whole time. And here we are knowing that this defense, which on that second down was a blatant hold on Benito as he chased Mahomes out of the pocket. Like, he literally had his hand around his throat or his arm around his throat. And we still got him on a 3-and-out. Then Bo Nix takes us down and we score. So if you can do it against the big bad Chiefs and you can do it against the Eagles and the teams that were in the Super Bowl, yeah, man, if you're in a game where you have an opportunity to win and you have an opportunity to close it, this experience absolutely will pay dividends down the line.
Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't think the NFL would allow us to win this game. I thought somehow they would try to give the Chiefs something there at the end, and I think they probably tried. And Mahomes, again, trying to sell that hit to the head. He didn't even touch your head, dude. This is what makes you unlikable. Like, you can be a great player, but you don't have to be that guy. You and Josh Allen need to stop doing that crap because you don't need to do it. You're already great players. Like, you don't need extra help, especially when it didn't happen. It just makes me really upset, But you're right. Beating the two teams that were in the Super Bowl last year, hanging with and basically beating one of the Super Bowl favorites now, the Colts, beating or hanging with the Chargers, and pretty much we should have had them if not for an absolutely perfect throw by Justin Herbert, right? So, if the Broncos had a good offense, they would be unstoppable. They would be 11-0 right now, 10-1 at the worst. And we would be talking about how nobody is going to beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But this offense leaves things to be desired, which there are concerns like we've talked about. But also, like we're talking about, they do what they need to do in the biggest moments of the games. And Bo Nix especially. For the first 3 quarters, that guy, it doesn't look like he even knows how to play football sometimes. But in the fourth quarter, is there any quarterback in the league that you would rather have on this team right now, Sean, than Bo Nix?
I mean, yeah, of course. But I mean, I
In
think
just in the fourth quarter, though.
yeah, but again, I don't think it's everybody wants to say it's Bo, the Nick Wrights and the people it's all blamed on Bo because they just talk about how great Sean Payton is.
We need to stop that.
I personally think it's the other way around. I just don't think that the play calls are always what they need to be to make Bo as effective as he can be. I knew that RJ Harvey was throwing that ball 2 steps into him getting after the handoff. I was like, he's throwing this. I don't know where he's throwing it, but he's throwing it. I'm like, oh my God, he's throwing it to Bo. And you could tell just by like I don't know what they worked on in practice before they played it, but selling that as a run was not what they worked on because it looked like garbage. I was like I was telling you, as soon as he got it in his hands, I'm like, oh, he's throwing this. It never looked like it was a threat to run the ball. So, just stuff like that. You don't need it. You just had it was such a great drive. You drove all the way down the field and you killed your momentum on an almost pick by your running back.
Would have been a pick 6.
What the hell are you doing? Run the ball. You're inside the 10. Run the ball. See if you can punch it in. If not, let Bo Nix do what he does. So I've had enough of the cuteness, dude. I'm tired of these stupid ass screens on the outside all the time. Like as much as you're saying about Bo in the first 3 quarters, I don't think it's as much Bo as the national people are saying, and as much hate as he's taking for some of the first 3 quarter statistics. I think he could be put in a better position that don't make him look like that. But yeah, to your point, his fourth quarter play is arguably the best in the NFL.
Do yourself a favor, Sean. Go back and watch the tape on all these screens that the Broncos are running and watch number 82. He is atrocious, bro. And did you see his comments after the game today about he was standing up for Bo Nix? And it's just like he's just whatever. You're Adam Troutman, bro. Like nobody cares. Just being honest with you.
Let Pat Bryant block. Throw behind Pat Bryant, man.
Stop throwing to Adam Troutman's side, okay? And don't even put him on the field. He is horrible. I don't know like what pictures he has of Sean Payton or what, dude, but he sucks. Just straight up, stop using him to block. It's horrible. Every time he's on the field, it gets blown up. Sorry, I had to go off on that tangent because nobody else seems to talk about this. And that guy is just awful. Like, there's just nothing else to say about it. But anyway, speaking of the Saints connection, I want to touch on Sean Payton real quick before we talk about our last topic here. He's a really good motivator. He's good at building teams. He's good at leading men, right? I don't think any of us debate these things. The problem is the play calling, like you were talking about. So the Broncos, they dress up these wins because the whole team, pitches in and does their thing. Marvin Mims on special teams, Will Lutz today, Bo Nix when it mattered most, Cortland Sutton when it mattered most, even RJ Harvey when it mattered most. Those 2-yard carries, we've been begging for those all year, right? And it's 3rd and 2, 2nd and 2, run the ball. But anyway, the problem is going to be that Sean Payton tries to outfox himself anytime that he gets into one of these games, these big games like this. And he's going to have to not do that moving forward if the Broncos are going to make some noise in the playoffs. Obviously, we need to get healthier too. Surtain as good as the corners look, and we talked about this, right? These corners are awesome. All 3 of them, 4 of them. But we need Surtain back because he's the best corner in the league.
Yeah.
You get healthy there, you get Powers back. All these things are going to factor in. And I think Sean Payton has his team completely bought in, which is a great thing. But this offense, dude, it's just, if we look back at the end of the year and the Broncos have won the Super Bowl like they did in 2015, I will apologize to Sean Payton. I will. Because they got it done, right? It wasn't pretty, but they got it done. And you can tell, Sean, that it's there. Like, these throws to Franklin are there. Either Franklin needs to stop dropping the ball or Nix needs to stop overthrowing him by a step or a half a step or whatever it is. And then, Pat Bryant made a nice play on one. He doesn't have the breakaway speed, or that would have been a touchdown too.
Yeah.
The plays are there. The concerns are the running game, the footwork of Bo Nix, the lack of a tight end, if we even can say that we have one on the roster at all. It feels like Adam Prentice and Atkins are guys that are more reliable than Ingram. But I don't know. Obviously, it's a great day when the Chiefs lose and we put them in the dirt. I think that's awesome. But there are concerns moving forward. No doubt about it. And the defense has to feel the pressure to just play perfect all the time. And it's probably frustrating. But it's not dividing a locker room or anything like that because the team's 9-2. So,
yep.
But last thing I want to talk about, Sean, bye. So first we want to say goodbye to the Chiefs because they're 5-5 now. And it's going to be, unless the Broncos have an epic collapse, they're not catching the Broncos now. They're basically
4 out.
4 games behind the Broncos, right? Yeah.
Yep. With 6.
So, yep. Yeah, 6. 6 to go. And they got the Colts next. Good luck. We'll talk about that in a second. And then we're talking about how the Broncos are now on to the bye week. And lastly, the Broncos, as it stands right now, have the bye week in the NFL playoffs, Sean.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that first bye. The Chiefs obviously aren't done. They could still make the playoffs. They're 2 games behind Jacksonville now, though, because they lost to Jacksonville, which is huge. That was a huge loss for the Chiefs. They're sitting at 5-5. You look at their season this year, and it doesn't seem like they're 5-5. They're still a very good football team, right? There's no question about that. Their defense is really good, like really, really good. Even though Chris Jones lines up offside every single play, and nobody ever calls. They called it once today, but it's just like, my God, like, can you just not cheat for 1 second? But that's not in their DNA. So 5-5, Sean, are we burying the Chiefs from the playoff picture in general? Or where do we sit with the Chiefs right now?
No, they'll make the wild card. I don't believe in Jacksonville.
You think so?
I don't believe Jacksonville at all. That division's close. I don't feel like they win a ton of close games. No Travis Hunter. I don't have faith in the Jaguars. But what I will say when it comes to the Chiefs is, let's not forget how many 1-score games went in their favor last year. And so they're having the opposite effect that we had, where we couldn't win them last year, and now we're winning them this year. You play with fire, man, and sometimes you're going to get burnt. So if you can't win those games, those 1-score games, like we are now, and they were last year, I think I don't even remember how many they won. It was like every single game they had last year was a 1-score game, all the way to the Super Bowl. And so this team has been declining. I think part of that is age. I think part of it is the receivers are always in jail. That probably doesn't help, but but I just, when you have to pay your quarterback at some point, these are the inevitabilities that you reach when you have to pay, your quarterback if the full amount, right? If you don't draft well, if you don't put people in certain positions, Travis Kelce is arguably the best tight end of all time, but he's older. And so these types of things come to fruition, and until they replace some of those things, it just is what it is. So I think they'll get in. I don't think that they're a threat, but if they're in, they're a threat. So if they're in, you never know. The calls don't go your way, the ball doesn't bounce your way, you get a pick six and there's a pretend penalty. Things like that can always happen when you play the Chiefs. So I'm not burying them. I think they'll get in. I do not think Jacksonville gets in. I do think either Houston or Kansas City will take them out.
Well, let's look at this schedule for the Chiefs, Sean. Do you have it pulled up? I thought you had it pulled up. Or were we looking at the Patriots?
We were looking at the Patriots schedule.
My bad. Let's see what we got here.
Chiefs.
They got the Colts next. So my question to you about that game, Sean, is don't we want the Colts to lose for seeding?
I think we're going to be okay. Let's put it this way. If that has an opportunity to exclude the Chiefs from the playoffs, we're better off having the Colts win. I get what you're saying because they own the tiebreaker against us from, a seeding this time. But at the same time, look, if they're the 1 and we're the 2 and we go to Indy for the AFC Championship and it's indoors.
That's a good point.
That might not be the worst thing in the world.
That's a good point.
But if it means that the Chiefs don't go to the playoffs, which is a much bigger reality at 5-6, depending on who else wins next week. I mean, I'm gonna keep my division hater hat on, and I'm gonna root for the Colts. I don't know. Is Daniel Jones what everybody thinks he is? I mean, Jonathan Taylor is why that team's as good as it is.
He is a beast, dude.
Jonathan Taylor is arguably the MVP of the NFL this year, just like Saquon was in that conversation last year. So, no, I'm gonna go with my Peyton Manning love and just we'll root for the Colts just like he would, and we owe him that. So I'm gonna root for the Colts.
I don't think you root for the Colts at all, bro. But you do you.
Colts and Broncos, I guess. Yeah.
So we've got. Dude, he does not claim that team. They gave up on him.
Yeah, I know.
They were like, sorry. So I don't hear him talk about them or claim them ever. Bro, he went to a Texas Longhorns game this weekend. Has he been to any Colts games since they got rid of him?
I think just when they honored him.
Yeah, see. And I know why he was at the Texas Longhorns game, because Arch Manning lost to my dogs.
They did not.
Sorry about it. No, I mean, I think he's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of potential, but he is just very raw right now.
I meant Texas didn't look good. I was watching that game last night, and
their defense is really good, but when you're playing Georgia, bro, you got to play both sides of the ball, and Georgia is the class of college football right now. So, best coach in the world when it comes to college football. So I'm sitting pretty there. We just got to win 2 more games and we'll be getting a bye in the CFP. It'll be nice. But anyway, so we got Colts and Chiefs. And then we've got Chiefs at Cowboys on Thanksgiving, it looks like. And then we got the Texans at the Chiefs, the Chargers at the Chiefs, the Chiefs at the Titans, and then the Broncos at the Chiefs. And then there's one more after that, right?
Raiders.
Chiefs at Raiders. Okay. So ideally, the Chiefs will win. Not ideally, but if we're looking at the schedule, they will win probably against the Cowboys, right? Titans. They'll probably beat the Texans. They'll probably beat the Titans.
See, that Texans game, that was going to be important for both teams, and it is. It's in KC.
It's in Kansas City, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're both going to be fighting for their life in that game to get into the playoffs. So that's going to be a good game.
I think if they, right now as it stands, they're 5-5, right? So even if they lose just one more game, let's say they get hot, right, and they finish 11-6, they're not catching the Broncos. Because the Broncos have the Commanders and the Raiders, so they'll probably beat both those teams. The Jaguars, they're going to beat the Jaguars. They got the Packers, the Chiefs, and the Chargers after that. So really, they'll probably win one or two of those, right? Depending on if they need to sit people week 17 against the Chargers, because it might not matter. So, yeah, the Broncos would have to lose out, I think, at this point, right?
I mean, I don't think it.
They'd have to go like 2 and
Yeah,
whatever, 2 and
2 and
4.
Yeah,
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't either.
So, yeah, the Chiefs. So the question is, would you want to see them come to Denver in the playoffs?
No.
No, I wouldn't either.
And I think it's less about the two teams than I think it is about how the NFL and others think about it.
100%. So, Sean, we're headed into the bye week for the Broncos. Then we got the Commanders after that. I don't know if Jaden's going to play. None of us know if Jaden's going to play, but Surtain should be back. Hopefully Powers will be back. Hopefully Singleton will be back.
It's like 2 buys in a row.
Yeah. And by the way, prayers up for Alex Singleton, dude. What a beast of a man that guy is. Like
on the sideline today.
Last year playing with a torn ACL to finish a game, and then this year knowing that he was going to have surgery for testicular cancer and still playing the night before. Just a beast, dude.
And was on the sideline today.
And he was on the sideline today.
Had surgery for cancer this week, and he was on the sideline today. Yeah. Dude's legit.
Bro,
yeah.
He's gonna be one of those folk hero guys if we end up winning a Super Bowl here. People love him.
Yeah.
I know he has his deficiencies in coverage, but I mean, how can you not cheer for that? You know, just incredible.
Yeah.
But the bye week. So the Broncos are going to be at 9-2 no matter what happens for the bye week. And they'll come back and they'll play the Commanders on the 30th on Sunday Night Football. So, Sean, what are your thoughts heading into the bye week? How do you think the team looks, I guess, in comparison to every team in the league, even the NFC? And how many games out of this bye week do the Broncos need to win to get the 1 seed?
Yeah, I think I like late season buys. I think they bode well, especially for good teams. This is when you need to get healthy. The Broncos aren't overly bitten by the injury bug, but they are missing some pieces that are going to be vital for the stretch run. I think we probably won't see Surtain against the Commanders because I just don't think that there's a reason for him to play. So if he's even on the fence, I feel like you'll sit him another week because I just don't see any threat from them, even with what we have on defense. So, I would hold that cautionary unless he's 100%. I would just sit him. But I mean, for the bye week, get rested, man. Y'all deserve it to go 9-2. I picked them to win the division, as I think you did as well, or you were close to it. We did our preseason predictions, but I don't think either one of us had it at 9-2. So they well deserved bye. Coming out of the bye, I think 4-2 will do it, man. I know you were high on the Patriots before the season. I do not think that they're going to win that division. I do think Buffalo will find a way. I think they're playing great. I think they've got a lot of good things going, but they have Drake May's second-year quarterback too. So we'll see how that all goes. We'll see how Stephon Diggs decides to be, if he decide, how it is when he doesn't get the ball. So, but I think Buffalo still wins that division. So I think obviously since they're at 3 losses, I think 4-2 gets us into the 1 seed pretty comfortably, unless the Colts. I didn't look at the Colts schedule, but I think 4-2 will do it for us.
So we're looking at the playoff picture right now here. The Broncos sit at the 1 seed. Patriots with the same record at the 2. You got the Colts at the 3, Steelers 4th somehow. I guess the Ravens will probably catch them.
Yep.
Then you got the Bills, the Chargers, and the Jaguars. And right down here, the Chiefs, they're 2 games behind the Jaguars, essentially. And there are the Texans. Like you said, that game in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it is, the Texans and the Chiefs is going to be a huge game.
Yeah.
Just to get in.
Whoever loses is probably out.
Yeah. So hypothetically, we're looking at this. The Broncos get the 1 seed, Patriots get the 2, Colts get the 3, right? So then the Patriots would host the Jaguars. I
They'll win.
mean,
Yeah, they'll win.
yeah.
I don't think the Jaguars are in that spot, like we said, but
How does that look, though, if it's Chiefs at Patriots?
I think the Chiefs win.
Yeah, so then you're looking at the Chiefs coming to Denver in the divisional round.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. And then you've got the
That's what I'm saying.
Chargers.
Go Colts next week, bro. Just to avoid it.
Yeah. Chargers going to the Colts. Didn't they play already and the Colts like mollywopped them? I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah, the Chargers will always do what they do. They'll choke.
Yeah. And then you got the Bills, which will probably be this, not the Steelers, but the Ravens, right?
Yeah.
So Bills and Ravens. Or if, like you think, the Bills, who are 2-3 games basically behind the Patriots, catch the Patriots, it'll be the Patriots at the Ravens. So there's still a lot of stuff going on here.
Yep.
If it is Bills at Ravens, that's a heck of a game right there. So you've got yourself Broncos at Chiefs in the second round. And then you've got yourself, who would you pick between the Bills and the Ravens if both teams are healthy and the Ravens have home field?
I'd have to take the Ravens. I picked them for the Super Bowl. I can't go off that now.
And then you have I think the Colts are going through, right? So then you've got the Ravens at the Colts and the Chiefs at the Broncos. That would be interesting because the Colts would have to come back to Denver if the Broncos could get past the Chiefs. And then the Ravens, who are always a thorn in our side, would have to come to Denver if they won that game too. So you're looking possibly at Kansas City at Denver and then either Indy or Baltimore at Denver to get to the Super Bowl. How do you feel at that point about it?
We got to be able to run the ball in the snow, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless I see something in the run game, I'm going to be nervous because we play outside. And I know that helps our defense potentially, but I think, like you and I were chatting before, James Cook and Derrick Henry are going to outperform RJ Harvey in inclement weather, and that concerns me. Even with our defense, I think if it becomes a field position, if we're playing field, and we're punting back and forth and whatever, don't do it to me, man. Don't do it. Start running the ball and let's make sure that we're ready when that inevitably happens, because almost everybody on that list plays outside.
Yeah, I think you're right. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if the Colts got home field, because then Bo gets to play in the dome, and our defensive speed gets to show off in the dome too. Now, do we play well there? No. Are the Colts a good football team? You're damn right, they're a good football team. But would I like the Broncos' chances in that situation more than I would like hosting the Chiefs or hosting the whoever at home in the snow? I guess. But maybe it doesn't snow. We've had that before, Sean, where it's just the weather's great. Yeah. Because when we went to the Super Bowl in 2015, I went to the AFC Championship game against the Patriots, and dude, I had to take my coat off.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get that, and if we get that, then I don't think there's any cause for concern, right?
No. Yeah. Then we can play our game.
Yeah. Hopefully, we can just hold the snow off till February or something. And so, Sean, we're sitting here 9-2. Like you said, neither one of us thought we were going to be. I think we both at best had us 7-3, 8-4, or 7-4, 8-3.
Yeah,
if that. So I mean, you can't really ask for anything better. I think the Broncos could easily be 11-0.
Yep.
But I think the Broncos could also easily be like 6-5. Because of the offense. But this defense is carrying them. It's an exciting time to be a Broncos fan. And as we've been talking about the whole time, the Chiefs are 5-5. It's a great time to be alive.
Yeah.
And for me personally, Sean, the Bulldogs won. The Nuggets won. the Broncos won, and Josh Naylor re-signed with the Mariners. So life as a sports fan for me couldn't be going any better. So let's keep the good times rolling, get some well-needed, much-deserved rest this week for the Broncos. And then we got to go into Washington and take care of business. That is not a good football team. They've fallen on tough times this year, and I'm sure we'll talk more about this. Terry McLaurin can't stay on the field to save his life right now. Although if he is back for that game, I think Surtain coming back would make a lot of sense. But we'll see. Their defense is not good at all. So these next two games, I think the Broncos can really put a stranglehold on this playoff picture, go to 11-2, put themselves in a position where if they do lose one or two at the end, they'll be okay. But we'll see how it plays out, Sean. And we're just going to have to hope if we do get home field that the weather's nice, or if in New England gets home field that the weather's cold but not snowy.
Yeah.
Right. But that's, like you said, that's a young team out there in Foxborough, the New England Patriots. And Drake May looks like a baller, dude. But he hasn't seen the Broncos defense yet.
Yep.
So there would be that.
Yep.
Well, we're looking forward to it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to our Bronc Bros podcast. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, on Instagram. Give us a like, follow, subscribe, do all that stuff. Follow us on X as well. I'm at AdamKnowsBall_ on Instagram and Threads, although I'm a little inactive on Instagram right now because I'm taking a break, but I'll be back eventually. Sean, he's on Instagram too, but he doesn't care if you follow him, apparently. Just compliment his beard when you see him out in public. And and until next week, Sean, we'll talk during the bye week a little bit, and then we'll get ready for the Commanders. So great day for Broncos fans. Goodbye to the Kansas City Chiefs, hopefully. And as always, go Broncos.
Go Broncos.